4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
And now for the fun today. I noticed that there's a lack of fuel after a certain point. It'll get up to top speed, but you give her too much beans too quick, it'll start falling on its face, and that tells me that there's lack of fuel delivery. So, seems to me there's a lot of people on these 400 Burgies that say you must absolutely remove the tank from these things to do this job, and I don't think you have to. I pulled the boot, got that out of the way. I can just move these lines. I'm almost 1,000% sure that I can get that out of there without having to pull the tank or the majority of the plastics. Quick seat removal, plastic here and plastic here, and I think you can change the fuel pump and filter and remove that without having to tear the entire thing down. I have yet to see a good video of it, but I'm like almost positive I can do that. And maybe I might have to take a few of these off, but that's better than ripping the entire front end of the bike off. So when I do this, I'll go ahead and tell you guys what it actually took, because so far I'm barely had to remove anything to get to this point, and I have almost complete access to it. And I feel like they didn't want to remove the tank either out of the front of this thing and pull the front wheel off and rip half the plastics off. So I feel like they designed it to be able to come out right here. So, like I said, if the worst comes to worst, I'll remove this bracket to get it out. But something tells me I can squeak that thing out of here and put it back in without having to remove 90% of everything everybody keeps saying. I think you just have to be really slow and do it properly. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is pull the... this one's going to be hard to get to because that's so tucked down there, but I think I can get to it without having to remove the plastics. It'll just be kind of a pain in the butt, but I think I can get that clip off of there and then remove those two bolts and then take off all these with the Allen keys, and I should be able to pop this off. But first we're going to start up my air compressor, and I'm going to blow this whole thing off because I don't want any of that dust, debris, and bull crap getting into the tank before we even get started. So, but I'll keep you guys updated. I am almost positive on these 07s and up, you don't have to pull the entire front of the bike apart and remove the fuel tank to replace the fuel pump. I can almost guarantee you Suzuki did not design it that way. Maybe the older models, 2007 and back, you had, or 2006 and back, you might have to do that, but looks like they did a little redesign here, and something tells me that's coming out of there without having to do that entire teardown. So I'll get back to you. So before we go any further, I'm pumping the fuel out into the gas tank. I've got the majority of the bolts off. Once we get I don't want to break the seal on this. I left one bolt very tight. I don't want to break the seal on this until after I drain all the fuel out. So, little Temu $8 fuel pump. You just stick it in there. I use it for all my motorcycles to drain the tanks before I work on them. It's very cheap. It's easy. 2D batteries, and it just keeps a very constant flow of fuel. It moves a lot of fuel very quickly, so I can drain the tanks on bikes really fast. You just insert the head down into there, turn it on, and boom, grab your gas tank. Looks like it's getting low. There we go. It's almost out of fuel. There was almost a complete full tank. There you go. So we're just going to let it drain that little bit of stuff until the pump speeds up. Sounds like it's almost done. And then we'll pull that last bolt, and then we're going to see if we can get this thing out of here. So, looks like it might be done. Yeah, it's done. Okay, cool. So, pretty much an empty tank now. All the fuel's been transferred to there. I'm going to put the lid on. When we're all done, then we'll slap it all back together. This gives me a chance to look inside the tank, too, with a magnet and see if there's any metal shavings, or rust, I should say, rust particles inside there. So, we're going to do that next. I'll just show you how simple this is. I just drain that whole tank very, very quickly and easily. And that's it. Just goes right back on the shelf now for the next use. Alright, update. To get it to this point, I grabbed it and turned it this way, and now it looks like it might come out. So I'm going to do my best, but this would ideally, if it comes out directly like this would be the way it has to go back in at an angle, and then you put a little pressure on it, popped into place, and then I should be able to turn it again. So we're going to see. I haven't had to turn it too far to get it to this point, so I'll just keep you guys updated. And we're going to remove these. I'm going to grab a little bungee cord and pull these out of the way. That way they're not impeding on anything, and we're going to see if we can get it out through this space without having to do too much. I think we can. I think she'll come out of there. And there you go. She is out. And it doesn't look like I bent anything. That is the position it came out in. I just kept turning left and pulling up as I went until it cleared everything. So when I go back in, it's going in this way. That piece first pointed towards you, down. And because I spun out left, that means when we put it back in, we're just going to keep turning right until we end up all the way back with those wires pointed that way. And then it should be exactly where it started at. So no, it does not look like you have to do anything too crazy. Oops, still a lot of gas in here. That is a very buggered up filter, as I suspected. Okay, so I'm gonna have a look inside this tank next because that filter looks disgusting. I assumed that might be the case, unfortunately. Yeah. So, however, the bottom doesn't look that bad. I don't know. We'll run a magnet through there, but there you go. It does come out with very minimal work involved. You don't have to tear the entire thing out. It's in my hand. So I'm going to take this apart. I'm going to replace that filter first. I'm going to take this apart. We're going to replace the fuel pump because I'm pretty sure, based on how much work this was to tear out, I'm pretty sure that this has 32,000 miles on it. So we're going to go ahead and slap in that new fuel pump and that new filter, and then we're going to put it back together. Yep, and there's an internal filter inside here that I believe also is going to need to be taken apart and come out. So yeah, but look at that, man. That is pretty grimy. That's gross. There's a lot of shit and debris on there from years of use. So that would explain why I'm getting such poor gas on top end. That means the internal filter inside of this unit also is clogged. So I'm going to have to pull that screen and fix it. Well, let me clog that hole. I got to go get a rag so that we don't just keep fuming out here. But yep, 100% able to take it out without ripping all the plastics off this thing. So it's a beautiful thing. You can see where I put the zip tie or the cable there, just kind of attached it to the plastic on the body to hold those out of the way. And now we're gonna tear this down and replace stuff. Let's go. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty big difference. That's 32,000 miles, and even though the interior of the tank looked clean, look inside there. That was clogging up that entire hole. This thing was suffering to get fuel. That's the old fuel pump, and this is the old fuel filter. So that is disgusting. So guys, even though the tank didn't have rust or anything in it, that's just particle debris from this thing and fuel for 32,000 miles. So if you think your unit's in good shape, probably isn't. Most likely you should probably do a fuel pump and fuel filter on this thing. And I think you'll be radically surprised by how much performance and power you're going to pick up by doing that. This thing's been suffering on the top end. It's just been having a hard time getting fuel delivery. It was getting full speed, but if you gave her too much, she would start to fall on her face until it got up to a certain RPM and then was able to pick up a little bit more. But honestly, now that I'm in here, I'm probably just going to clean the fuel injector because it's right there and I may as well just do it while I'm here. Give it a pulse cleaning real quick, slap it back in, because something tells me if that filter is that bad that the top of the fuel injector where the fuel goes in is probably just as bad. So I'm going to go ahead and say there's probably a bunch of particle debris at the top of the fuel injector head. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a pulse cleaning with my pulse cleaning kit and a 12-volt battery real fast. We're going to do that, make sure that it's spraying how it should, get it all clean, slap it back in. There is no point in tearing all this down if you're not just going to do the job properly the first time. So new fuel pump and filter installed. I'm about to put that back in here. Once I get all that put back together, then we'll go ahead and pull the fuel injector and we'll give it a pulse cleaning with my fuel injection kit. And we'll go from there. But yeah, that is, God, man, what a difference. Holy mackerel, that filter was just disgusting. So I don't think it's ever been changed. I think that's the original motor, that's the original filter. So there you go. You can definitely see the difference between those components. So I'm going to slap this back in, and we're going to pull the fuel injector and give it a cleaning. Oh boy, still got to clean the fuel injector, but we're going to make sure everything's working. I just reassembled all that, put the lines back to how they were, redid everything, plugged in the fuel pump back there. Now we're going to prime it. I hear a priming noise. That's a good sound. We're going to prime it again. And one more time. Sounds pretty good. Let's crank her up, see what she does. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Shee. Actually, that's probably the best idle it's ever had. That sounds really clean. It's like not even fluctuating. That is amazing. Guessing it's a lot happier, but now that I know that it runs, I'm gonna shut it down because we're gonna clean that fuel injector before I let the whole engine get warm and hot. I don't see any leaks. Nothing seems to be causing a problem. No FI lights on. Seems to be taking throttle and running good. These are all good signs. So we're gonna pull that fuel injector and give her a cleaning. All right, all back together. Good. It's got a great idle now too. Sounds awesome. Oh yeah. Big difference on throttle response. Cool. Cool.